Hi traders, in this live trading workshop webinar today, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the gold. I mean, a lot has happened in the news, right? The Strait of Hormuz is now open. So we've got a lot of action which is happening in the market. So we're looking at gold for the live trading section for today. We're also going to be looking at Brent which gapped down, okay, on open today as well. And then the S&P. Now, rather than jumping into all of this straight away and getting carried away by the news, we're going to show you how to do it systematically and also how to time yourself as well. Okay, so we're going to be covering all of that in the live trading section for the live trading workshop today. So on the live trades, second, we're going to have an awesome topic for you lined up today, which is based on AI heat maps. All right, this is going to be very inspiring because it's actually done by one of our Vedanta Elite clients over here at Master the Markets. So, but before I tell you a lot about that, I'll tell you what actually happens. Rather than you getting carried away by AI, it's going to be approached systematically, okay? The first thing is people don't understand, when they want to create heat maps, they just create it randomly. So they don't know where to or what to create the heat maps on. I'm going to show you the heat maps that we created on this HML factor, or what we call the OE factor, okay? And then the second thing is that how do you measure this HML factor or the OE, right? And then those of you who've been following us for quite some time, you would know what the OE means, but I'll give you some reference videos later on as well. And then also, they do not understand this at all. They got no clue about probability distribution tables, okay, how to create them, how to go about it. And you got to go through these 3 points to even get to the third point. Finally, the biggest bonus one I'm going to show you is going to be an absolute game changer, going to be eye-opening for you, is how we are using the AI, right, to create that OE heat map, which shows you 20-30 instruments just on one screen. Okay, so this and more in this live trading workshop. Right, traders, welcome back. This is, for those of you joining in new for the first time, still Napan here, founder of Master the Markets, Elite Traders Conference, and the Traders Open Day. So quickly, I just want to give you a quick reference link as well. I know I'm going to go in quite fast right now because we usually get our seasoned regular traders usually joining us. But those of you joining us new, I would say the best reference link, if you don't understand some of the terminologies that we are using or whatsoever, the best place that we have compressed all of this knowledge of 20 years of research and over 50 years of cumulative team experience into this masterclass webinar. So whenever you're free, when you click on the register button, you can select either of these dates, right? So either you can select the April date or the May date. We kind of do it once a month or something like that. It's under like 50 minutes. So just block out that time, watch it. You will understand everything what we're saying. So for now, you know what? I'll just go straight through in the trades. Even some of you might not understand it, but when you watch the masterclass webinar, you will understand it. Okay, we'll all click in, okay? Right, so let me quickly analyze this very shortly. Now, those of you on the YouTube channel, on the Zoom, you can always type in your questions as well. Actually, I've got it open, isn't it, over here? So let's go straight in. I'm looking at gold. Let's see if we get some trades for today. Remember, the whole point of all of this is to teach you how to fish rather than giving you the fish so that you become independent. You can do it across any other instruments as well. So let me see over here on this one over here. On here, let me just get the trend here on gold. On gold, this downtrend phase 2, because it broke the structure, right? We just got to be wary of this. I know we had a bit of a breakthrough yesterday, and people might have rushed in towards buying that. Still totally fine as long as you understand what you're doing and you got a clear plan. Let me get my direction bias. So this is the first thing I always do. I like to get my direction bias in first and then take it in systematically. So let me do that. Let me also do that there. Right. I got an uptrend phase 1 on the 4-hour. So this one here, what you're seeing, all these arrows over here and all that, which I'll go through a little bit later on, but the masterclass webinar will show you all of that in detail, is basically showing you market structure, okay? So that's what it's showing you over here on in terms of where the tops and bottoms have been, and they've been quantified by our algos over here, okay, by the smart money framework indicator that we have here bespoke at Master the Markets. All right, so here what I've got another uptrend phase one over here, and then on the 1 hour time frame, right, let me just quickly take a look at the 1 hour. I'll keep the 15 minutes a bit intact. Right. So let me see this one here. Yeah, that's uptrend phase two. So they all have turned around. And that's a good one, actually, when it's uptrend phase two. Then I look at the 15 minute to capture the turning point for the 1 hour time frame, okay? So I'll just want to put the volume across here as well. I like to look at the volume spread analysis initiated by Tom Williams, and then taken over by Gavin Holmes and his team at TradeGuider. So I've got that here. Right, so we got this low test bar, or a pin bar as people call it. Could this be the turning point where this bottom sustains on the 1 hour time frame, where then our bottom gets confirmed with our formulas, okay? So to find that out, I'm going to go on to the 15-minute time frame, but before that, I'm going to do a quick analysis here, traders. This is 167. I'm just looking to get the range out. Don't worry if you don't understand some of this terminology. As I said, that's why I gave you the masterclass webinar reference link right from the beginning. Let me see, 133. Yeah, it's done its range. So it has done its range. So what would be my priority on the priority list? Maybe if we don't get a trade, we got to sit on our hands for today. Let me see how it goes. 133. Has it even done its 180R? Let me see. So it's 149. You know what? I think it's a high probability it will do its 180R today because of all the news that is flying around. Because Trump didn't bomb the Iran as he spoke about, isn't it? To make the whole country dark by just eradicating all their power plants, right? So he didn't do that, and that's why. And Iran has opened up the Strait of Hormuz as well, and that's why now the markets are thinking, you know what? It's a relief. It's going to end this war, and that's what you're seeing them recover. And in terms of gold, Brent has definitely fallen because of that, because the price is coming down, because they opened up the Strait of Hormuz. But here on gold, because tension might still be there, it might still be on the rise. So we follow the price as always. So what we are seeing here is, let me see if that can turn around or not. That's what I'm thinking. We will go on to his 180R number. Here, that's a downtrend phase one. So this is perfect for me. I like this kind of setups because that bar here is telling me that this is going towards the downside that will have caught some people out, and then now it can come on the reverse side and change the trend. So I will record this down, and I got to be quick here. Those of you on the Telegram channel, I post this trade. If we do get a trigger, let me see. A bit tight over here. Right, so I've got that roughly, but let me do the last part of the analysis. The 1 hour stretch line. All right, so let's see. Right, so let me move that away. This is really good, looking good. 15 stretch line is on the upside, upper range. Now my upper range, let me just do this one here. That's upper. Range lines wise, let me just check in terms of midnight, 6, 12. So 8 a.m. is there. So its range line wise, we've got the ranges here, isn't it? Let me just draw that down. Okay. I'll just put a white on there. I'm going to do it on this one here and that one there. It's interesting, the range hasn't been broken. So what I've drawn over here, it's between midnight, the lowest point it went to, and the highest point. I went through all this in very much detail in the futures workshop that we did with Ninja Caters, the US company, where we got invited to come and speak over there. We'll be doing that again soon. So I will post you guys on that. Check out our emails. And we were trading live for 5 days. I was explaining this in much in detail. But in terms of the range, yes. So this is what we got between 8 and 12. So it hasn't broken any of it. So that's what we have. Okay, so that's fine. So I would say no over here. So that's a bit of a concern. And A or none, right? So then on the broad to ST wise, that's to the upside as I've seen. Previous daily high and low. Let me just check that. Previous daily, yeah, definitely to the high. So now here we go, right? So I've put that all onto the table. So now let's have a timing. When do we want to get into this trade, right? So if you take a look at here, what I've got on this table, which I've done a video on this as well, what we got at the moment, right, traders, you see on gold here, I'll just put a yellow point over here, right? So across two time frames, we're going to uptrend, but the other two time frames are downtrend, okay? But here, at least the direction-wise, is pointing to the upside, isn't it? The downtrend-wise, yeah? So we got a kind of, I would say, I'll score this at about 2.5 points for the first four columns in terms of time frame correlation, okay, in terms of trends. Now, for the next four columns over here, we can see that for the bar mechanics, right, we can see that there is an upside over here, and then another upside, and then pointing to the up as well. So 3 out of 4. So I've got 5.5 out of 8, isn't it, traders, right? So it still scores a little bit above, not the best. So what I would say is direction bias is still to the long side, but the timing, now we come to timing. Remember, in entry, there's always two parts, what I've said. One is you formulate your direction bias, whether you're going to go long or short. In this case, you've established it as long. The second thing is you look at the timing, right? Just because our direction bias is long, we just don't jump into the trade. We time ourselves, okay? When are we going to get into this trade? So in the last week's live stream, if you had seen on our channel here, then you would have seen that, you know, we would have taken this after we shared the Q1 results, we then took a look at the S&P, right? And then both the targets were hit at the S&P trade that we were looking at, but because of timing as well, we didn't jump in. Okay, we wait for the market to come and fill us up. Now, so in terms of that, what I'm taking a look at, I don't know if it was S&P or not, but we'll take a look at it later. Right, now, so on the high, we can check out the Telegram channel, we'll know what trade that was. I'll tell you guys later. But in terms of timing, where will I get in? I want this market structure to change, okay? Volume has increased on this principle here, okay? Remember, one of the first VSA principle is what? Strength on weakness. So what we got to do as a detective, right, as what Gavin would say, is that when you got a massive seller bar, or Tom Williams would say, when you got a massive seller bar, rather than jumping it into selling, analyze it. You know, is it buying coming into that selling, right? We saw it lift off the low as well over here, didn't we? So when we look at it like that, then, is this real buying coming in? So to find that out, we only enter the market at certain levels. So if this seller bar is reversed, right? If the high is taken out, plus the swing high being taken out here by our market structure identification with the smart money indicator, which formulates for us the framework of the market structure, then we can time ourselves. And in terms of the timing, what we are looking at is the high of this bar, which is at 4807, right? So I'll put it at 4808. So I'll give out the trade call here. I'll put it on Zoom, and then the team can then put it on Telegram. So entry is going to be at 4808. Remember that if you are doing futures, then look at it accordingly in terms of your price levels and your structure that is showing you. That's why when you got the smart money framework, it's a bit more easier and clearer. The low so far is 4789, isn't it? I'll do it there. But if it takes out that low, then we got to reassess it for the stop loss. But I'll put it on the Telegram channel. And the target, we can just go for something small at the moment. And I'll just go for the 1 ATR number, which is $15 at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, I need to do it over there, but it's fine. Let me check. Let me actually increase this a little bit. Right, so if I do it here, yeah, let me just do it at $15, that's fine. So the high, 4807, isn't it? 4822, if I'm not wrong. Yep. So 4822. So that's target one. Those of you who want a larger target, this would be the numbers I would look at. Then I'll draw it over here as well. This high here, 4843, 4844, I would say. Okay, so that would be our two targets. And then the third target would be 4858. Okay, 4858. Okay, so I mapped all of that out. I would say, depending on what your strategy is and how you're consistent with your strategy, choose the targets, okay? Now, the first target, so I'll map it all out here. So I put that on the Zoom chat. That will come onto your Telegram channel. If you haven't joined the Telegram channel, you can join that. We will manage this trade over there. And of course, Trade Nation is sponsoring us on this. So you can, if you haven't opened up an account, you can open up with them. They're one of the most friendly brokers, I must say. And they really look after you. And the spreads are so tight. It's really good comments from all of our clients, really, who have been using them. So that's 4844. And then finally, we got 4858. So I mapped that all out. Let's see how it goes. All right. And if it does this 1 ATR number, that'll be 167, isn't it? So the low, 4713 plus 167, right? So 4713. Those of you who are members of us, have been following us for quite some time on our paid programs and all that, if you want to understand this strategy, it's all on the portal, okay? So don't worry about that. I would just say 4714, isn't it? Plus 167 plus 1. 4881 is our, if it does do its 1 ATR, traders. At the moment, I think it might go a little bit to the downside first. So you won't get triggered in probably. But we'll reassess this. later on. Okay, good. So I don't think we're getting a hit, but the main levels I'll look at is for this one here. We've not been triggered into the trade, but it's taking out the low over here, right? So we got to modify our initial stop loss later. So we'll come to that in a minute. All right. Now quickly, just a glance on Brent. Are we going to get a trade over here or not? Let's see. Not yet. Need to wait for retracement. I know I got some messages from some clients that those have been following some of these strategies and all. You would have probably taken these trades earlier in the day when it had retraced and then come down. Because if you follow all of that, it's taken out the lower stretch. The news was in the favor as well. The Strait of Hormuz being opened, and you would have taken this trade where the smart money indicator confirmed the top. And you could have done the same things over here, put the different targets to come and to hit those levels, okay? So well done on those who took that. But for now, I don't see anything there. S&P very quickly, what I'll see is gapped up as well. I think this could be a trade as well. So you guys can do the same analysis. I'll just wait for it to populate a bit more before we have a viable thing on that. You can do opening range breakout on it as well. But I think for now, we'll just stick to gold. We'll see how it comes. If we don't get a trade, we don't get a trade. We sit on our hands. But that's where the direction bias is going at the moment in terms of gold, okay? With that said, I know some of you have been asking for some reference links, isn't it? So let's take a look at that. And if you have any questions as well, type into the chat box, whatever that you've got over here. So here, the first one, as I said, would be the masterclass webinar that we have done. We've compressed it, all our 20 years of collective research, plus over 50 years of cumulative experience over here. So once you click to register here, right, you can choose your date. After you fill in all your details, you can then select the dates that is convenient for you, and then you can then come in and watch the webinar. It's at 7 p.m. UK time, right? So do the conversions if you're joining in from Canada, from US, or from Australia, okay? Right. So then after that, there is, I think, a short replay, but that's on demand as well. But anyway, I think the best thing is come for the webinar. I think the best absorption is always when you attend live. Okay, so that's how we've done it. So watch that one first. If for some reason you can't attend, something came up, you can always email us and we can look into if we can give you a recording or not. All right. Okay, good. So that's that one on the masterclass webinar. Here, some of you have been following our material for quite some time, right? You've gone on a YouTube channel, follow our videos, you've interacted with us, come to one-to-one, but life got in the way and you've drifted away. And now you got back into it and you want to get in deep. I would say, you know what? The best place to start would just be to get the Smart Money Framework indicator onto your screens, which I'll go through a little bit later on as well. And this will just explain to you everything, all right, on the market structure, what trend is it? That's how we were doing it just now, right? What trend was it across all the different time frames, putting this table together, and then where to time ourselves to enter. It just becomes more clearer. It's no more guesswork. It moves you from inconsistency to consistency, okay? That's the whole idea, to get the consistent performance, right? With clarity. That's the whole idea. That's how we've been invited over 11, 15 times in so many different platforms and organizations like the SDA, NinjaTrader, all of this, because they find it very fascinating, very insightful, because nobody explains in this way, okay? So that's how you look at it. So if you want to get that indicator along aside with any other methodology that you have, because it works along with anything, you can go through the Smart Money indicator over here. We had an Easter offer as well. It went in really very well. It was an offer that we've never done before. So those of you who missed it, it's fine. The other ones will come, but we do have a small discount that you can use. That will be on the YouTube channel that you can always take advantage of as well. Okay. So that's that. You can have a read, and also it's just not the indicator that you get as well, right? So you get all of this along the indicator is available on different platforms. Also, you get 3 strategy rules that are included in your portal, members portal, along with other things. And you can go through them and you can understand how the indicator works and everything, how you can use it with any of your other strategies. Also, you get group sessions as well every once a month. So it's really high value. You can ask any questions. We go through our performance, we go through our different markets for analysis, and we also go through a psychology video just to keep you in momentum and in consistency. And then the final thing is the one-to-one live trading session that we have as well, okay? That you can have with us, ask any questions that you may have, okay? It's included, all right, as part of the whole bundle with your indicators. So you can look through this and you can see what pertains to you the most. Now, in terms of a YouTube channel where a lot, tons of quality material is there, youtube.com/master the markets, what I would suggest is one of the things that you can look to understand, but before you do that, if you go onto the subscribe button here, right, after you click the subscribe button, click on the all bell icon over here. Okay, so this will make sure that every time we go live, you get notifications. All right, and then also another thing is that because some of our clients say, I subscribe to the channel, but whenever you go live, I don't get notifications. So this is the way to do it. Click on this small drop down arrow, click on the all bell icon. You get notifications straight to your phone or your email. And then after that, what you can also do is that if you cannot watch it straight at that time, then what you can also do is you can take a look at it later on. You can just put it under the watch later playlist. All right, you can do that as well. All right. You can see some really great videos over here, but the main ones is for the stretch principle. If you want to understand a little bit about the smart money indicator, these videos are really good over here. Or the stretch principle videos are here as well. Okay, this one's here, the stretch principle videos. You can take a look at that. And our last few videos are really good. I mean, the swing trading edge is really highly recommended. I'll reference this a little bit today. And our 2025 results, I mean, has been very good as well. And our Q1 performance is over 20% now, right? So we had a very strong start to the year already. All end of day strategies, 1% risk, because most of our clients are 9 to 5 workers or business owners. But you can use those principles for intraday as well. And we got lots of intraday strategies, as you can see in this live stream as well. Good traders. So saying all of that, now let's go on to our topic for today, right? The game changer. Okay, so quite a lot of material I've given you over there. Now, just a quick thing I just realized as well. Quick shout out to Trade Nation as well, who are sponsoring us on this live stream as well. And if you want to open up an account with them, their spreads are really tight. You can take a look at our Telegram channel and you can open up with them. They're also the sponsors of our ETM Annual Summit as well. So really good guys. Last year we had an awesome time. We've been running it. This year will be the third time we're running it. We got guys coming in from Canada, US, Australia, different parts of the world. So if you want to join in, you can always message us on it, email us on it, okay? So we can then give you more information on that. All right, so good. So with that said, I'm just keeping an eye on gold. Still not taking out that low. You see, it's supporting that low. We'll see how that goes. If that low is supported, there's a high chance it will come and take out our pending order here. I'll adjust the stop loss later on. Okay, I'll keep it on the other screen as I go through the topic for today. Okay, I'll keep it on the other screen over here. Right, good. So I think with that said, let's go on to the topic. If you got any questions so far what we covered in the live stream, do type it into the chat box. Good traders, I think with that said, let's take a look at this. So today's topic is the game changer that we've had, and currently we're using AI a lot on our trading as well. I'll feed you in with all the info that's happening with us on the latest, and also this heat map that one of our clients actually did, our Vedanta Elite client, right? Very inspiring. How he, just like you, watched us through YouTube, came on our email list, really liked the way that we explained, systematic, very logical, and then after that, he joined us on getting the indicator working around the way, Traders Basecamp, and then Ultimate Advance, and now he's a Vedanta Elite member. So beautiful to see his transformational shift as well on how he has progressed, actually. Anton is the one. I'll show you all later as well. I mean, in fact, a lot of things that you're seeing over here, we just don't hold the credit anymore for it. I mean, in terms of knowledge, and yes, we've passed it on to them, but they have done, a lot of our client community have become coders and programmers. So the community itself now is uplifting the community. So it's really, really beautiful how it's all shaping up to be. And one of them is what I'm going to show you today, the AI heat map, okay? Now, before you create any kind of heat map, right, or using AI, I know a lot of people are now saying like, let me just use AI, and I would just get a good trading strategy and you can trade for me and I can relax for the rest of my life, okay? As you and I know, nothing works like that, straightforward. It might work in the short run, but not in the long run, okay? Whatever it is, AI is an amazing leverage, okay? And we have to embrace the new change that is happening. But at the same time, it needs to be directed, all right? So that's very important. So you've got to be very clear on what you want to do. So that's why the first thing I always say is, before you create any heat map, you got to ask yourself, what are you creating the heat map on, right? Rather than just mixing and matching. Or, some people don't even know what a heat map is, right? Or where should they start? I meet a lot of programmers, who've been here and there and thinking they can do it themselves, but they've got no clue. They've got no clue even on how to even formulate a strategy, even strategy construction. They don't have any clue. There are 5 components. It's got to be done systematically. We got invited to lecture for quantitative strategy construction, right, by Society of Technical Analysis, for all paid members over there. And they were all the senior programmers over there, which I then presented my material on, right? So it needs to be really approached in a systematic manner. So the first thing I would say is be very clear on where to create the heat maps on. Next thing is, over here, what I'm going to be covering is the OE factor or the HML factor, right? Then you got to be very clear on how to measure that factor, okay? You got to have a simple formula, okay? Then only you can code it, right? And then after that measuring, you need to create a probability distribution table, which I'll show you as well, right? After all of that, then we move into the exciting part of using the AI, okay, to help us leverage and make it really much more easier and faster to analyze the data, right? Okay, so remember, this is all part of just the data collection, and then we feed that into the strategy construction. It's like saying, I'm just formulating the powerful engine first. I'm going through in a systematic way to create the most powerful turbo engine. After that, then I have to put the engine into the car, isn't it? The car is just not made up of the engine itself, right, traders? It's made up of, engine is just only one part, isn't it? Maybe, yes, it's a major part, 20% maybe of the car, but it's not the end or be all. Then you got the brakes, you got the accelerator, then you got the doors, you got so many other things after that, right? So just understand that, right? So this data that we're looking at today, one part of the whole strategy construction, but it's still fascinating, right? So I'll show you, and it's a very powerful stats to have and the data to have. So on that, what are these heat maps on? Okay, the heat map, what I'm going to show you today, and which you should also think about as well, at least get the stats on. Or you can always leverage off professionals like us or a community like us, and you can cut short about 15 years of your time, is the HML factor. HML basically means how much move is left. So anytime you enter a trade, okay, so if I go live onto the screens over here, so just like how we analyzed it just now, right? So anytime you see, for example, on gold over here, right, we're not getting the trade, but wherever I want to enter from, the trigger, we're not getting the trigger yet, but where I want to enter from, the blue line is the point of entry. From the point of entry, I must know how much move is going to be left, okay, on a probability basis, all right? If I do not know that, I'm just going in blind. Or even, let's say some of you thinking of going in short over here. After you enter short on the close, let's say, or just live at market price, you must know how much move is left, because if there's only going to be like maybe another $2 left, and you're holding on to capture $10, it's going to snap at you, right? It's just going to take that out and then going to reverse back, isn't it not, traders, right? So that's why we need to know how much move is left. That's the same across any other instrument. So even if I take a look at Brent as well, rather than jumping in here, you see, those people who jumped in here thinking that, oh yeah, it's going to go on more lower today because the Strait of Hormuz has been opened. That's it, hooray. It's all going to come more cheaper and cheaper. They might have just jumped in. And then when this happens, when it goes against them, if they're on a short trade, then they get panicky, right? So you must always know how much move is left. Okay, that's only one part of the entire puzzle that you need to know. At the beginning of a swing, ideally, right? When the swing begins, you must know how much move is left. Then the next question comes, but when does the swing begin? Or when does the swing end? And how do I find this, how much move is left? So that's what the second diagram tells you over here on an overview level. It tells you that, if you look at swings and cycles, a lot of people say, yeah, and they use it loosely, right? And they say, oh yeah, that's an uptrend. Oh yeah, this has already gone down. This is a downtrend. It's very sad because there's no structure there. I've explained in my previous videos, if you go on our YouTube channel, I'll show you over here. If you go on our YouTube channel, this one is a really good one to get your terminologies right, to get some clarity on market structure. Look at this one, swing trading edge, okay? This is very important. You can forward to the topic area, but definitely topics are only about 15-20 minutes. And you can definitely highly recommend you guys watching this one, okay? On that. So I break it down, okay? What is the 4 building blocks of market structure, price action, swing, all of these things, okay? How they all come together. In any case, over here, if I just take a look at a swing over here, I'm talking about a bottom to top swing over here, right, traders? Yeah, a bottom to top, where the bottom gets confirmed, okay? So in terms of here, ideally what you want to do, you want to have some kind of a quantification where you're saying that at this bar confirms this bottom. That's when this bottom is confirmed. So that you get some kind of conviction there that after this bar, there's still some move left, rather than entering on it and you don't know if the bottom has been confirmed and then it comes against you. Okay, so you need some kind of a structure, okay, or probabilities to tell you that there is move left and to give you the confidence to stick on to the trade even when it goes against you. That's the whole premise. So if you see some of our trades, even in our live stream section, in our YouTube channel, right? So you would see, under the live stream section over here, if you go under the live stream section there, and if you take a look at any of our videos over here, right? So if you take a look at any of our videos over here, you would see that some of the trades that we have taken it will go in our favor, right? A little bit, but then straight away it comes against us down, and it's so scary. There was one gold trade where it comes so near to our stop loss, and then it reverses up. When we were doing it with Trade Guider and us, right? Tom Williams' methodology on the VSA and our price action methodology. So, but what gives us the conviction, okay, to stick in the trade is because of this principle I'm teaching you here. Because we know how much move is left. And we've quantified when the beginning of the swing is and the end of the swing is. And in between, how to capture that distance, okay? So this is the first thing you need to take away. Always know how much move is left. In institutional terms, this is what we call the open equity principle, open profit, okay? I've gone through this in a little bit more detail also in some of our YouTube videos as well. We will link all of this up at some point. So if you go under our homepage here, if you go under this one here, precise entries, this will take you all through. So if you go through this 3 videos here, right? This will all tell you everything. These 4 videos here, I would say that, right? So I will start out with swing trading edge, and then go on to the other ones. But you know what? To be very honest, if you want it very easy, I would say the masterclass webinar is the best place, okay? Because it compresses everything all into one place. So much more easier, and no ads as well, okay? Your trading knowledge will definitely improve. I can tell you that. Absolute clarity you'll get. And you can apply it with any methodology as well. So that's on the how much move is left. Now, some of you might be saying then, okay, but how do I measure this? What you think call open equity? How much move is left, right? How do I measure that? Now, I just give you a small story on how I actually learned this. Is when I met my mentor by chance. But some of you, of course, everybody will say there's no such thing as chance. When your question is sincere, when you're really looking for some answers, okay, the right person, the right teacher will come to you, okay, on your sincerity. Just like some of you watching this live stream at the moment, I asked some questions in sincerity, and therefore you've landed here and Master the Markets, and then you finally get your questions answered. A lot of our clients who have joined us, the serious ones, when they listen to how we explain, they say, wow, I wish I got to know you guys much earlier. So when I asked this question, how to measure open equity or open, no, I didn't really even know this term called open equity. I just asked like how to measure how much move is left on the swing to my mentor when I first met him in a broker related event. And then no wishy-washy, he told me the exact formula. And the exact formula I present to you right now, right, which you will never find anywhere online on any AI chats, because it's not out there outspread. We're the only guys talking about it. Is this formula here? Calculate from point of entry to the maximum point reached. So these are the 2 points you need to lock down to measure your open equity. You can do it on any of your methodology that you got, but the way to do it is you got to first get your market structure, which I go through in that video in the Swing Trading Edge or in the masterclass webinar as well. Okay, so do that first. Okay, lock in these 2 points, point of entry to maximum point reached. Now, after you've done that, here's a diagrammatic representation here. So you see, this is our point of entry over here, all right? Okay, over there. Now, where's the maximum point reached? So to do that, in this case, because it's happening in real time, I won't be able to tell you where's the maximum point reached, right? But we can use data from before to project for this real-time move. That's what we're doing here in the live streams when we take the live trades, is it not, traders, right? So in reference, I'll use this swing now as a reference point. So you can see that if I were to say this was the point where I got in, where this bottom, let's say, confirmed, where the beginning of the swing was, point of entry, okay? Then my maximum point was this arrow here, right? The top, okay? In real time, it's hard to capture the absolute top, but remember, we're using the data to then project for the real time, okay? I'll show you all this in a minute. This will make more sense, all right? So then what happens is, once I've locked in my point of entry and the maximum point, then I measure the distance, okay, which is this green arrow here, which we call open equity, or the move in the swing, okay, from the time the bottom confirms to the maximum point, right? So from there, then we can move to the next step. Now, once you got that, you can then handle the third problem that most people do not have. They don't have any probability distribution table. So to tackle that problem, before I create the heat map, so then to tackle that problem, I apply this formula, right? Point of entry to maximum point reached, as long as I got my bottoms and tops quantified. So that's how then we can get our open equity stats, right? And from the open equity stats, we can get our target based on probabilities. Target based on probabilities, okay? Trading is based on probabilities, traders, all right? It's not based on guesswork. That's how you move from inconsistency to consistency. So let's take a look at how this looks like, and then we'll get to the exciting part, which is what we've all been waiting for, and how we use the AI to measure all of this, okay? So if I go back into here, so if I take a look at Brent or one of the ones here, if I take a look, let me check if I can get it on gold as well here. Gold is still hovering around. It's not dropping on that. Okay, let me show you on gold. We've done a lot of videos on this as well. You see on the 15-minute, it's still not triggered us yet. It's still not taking out that low. So let's see if it does come back. And we need to adjust our stop loss if it does. Also sit on our hands today. We're not going to take that trade. Right, so what have we got here? So you see over here, what I've got, if you can, now you can understand this, right? So look at this big swing here. You see where the swing got confirmed here, over here, right? And look at this big swing. This did 17.13 ATR, right? On the gold, on the daily time frame. I can get this on any time frame I want, okay? That's the power when you've quantified everything. You see, but then whereas on this swing here, immediately it turns around, and that's because it's going against the trend, isn't it? 0.01 ATR. This one was 1.03 ATR, 5.84 ATR over here, right? So like that, I can keep accumulating the swing data, the OE data, okay, into a distribution table, right? So if I were to do this, okay, never mind, I'll just do it on here, and show stats chart. I've got the ATR table. We can see our stop point from 0.25. We've done deeper analysis as well. You can go through our YouTube channel and you can find those videos, especially on our live. But as I said, the best place would be the masterclass webinar. I will show you all of this. It will just make absolute sense very straight away, okay? So coming back into here, so you see, now you can see all this. But before that, let me show you this, just to understand the probability distribution table. Before I show you the AI heat map, right? Then everything will make sense. And those people will really understand it, will be like, wow, this is crazy. Once you start to see the AI in action. Right, so here, what I've done is, you see, I've gathered data from 2010 all the way to now, okay, which is about 16 years worth of data on the daily time frame, okay? You can do this on any time frame. Now you've seen that, you see, it's just gathering all this data, you see, 17.13 here, 0.01, 1.03, and it's accumulating it all onto this table. And it's telling you here that on the daily time frame over 16 years, there are 158 swings, and I'm not putting any filters here. I'm taking all the swings. In fact, did I put a filter? I put phase one. So let me put all for you guys. So I'm not putting any filter. And as that's loading up, let me tell you, right, even this that we got on TradingView, you will see how it all links up together with AI. Even this we got on TradingView, right? We got this program by one of our clients, right? Assad. I mean, he was the one that initiated this entire thing. He came on to all our webinars. We met him at the property exhibition, right? And then he liked it, but he's been following other people as well. So he followed us for quite a bit, liked the way that we were talking about it. Then he came in on board, came all the way through all our programs, and the transformational shifts I saw him were amazing. He was doing it on crypto, and he thought that this will give him more clarity for his quantification with programmed automation with this market structure as well. So he did it, and he came on to Vedanta Elite. He's a Vedanta Elite member as well. And then he said, you know what, Thiru, I'm going to code it all for you on TradingView, because we had it on MetaTrader for a long time. Then we coded it all on TradingView. That's how we got it now, right? So our community itself uplifts this community. So you can see the real beautiful thing on how the product itself is a testament, right? That's how the community is really uplifting by itself. So now you can see that when I didn't put any filter, it's telling you there's 368 swings here over the last 15 years, right? Now, after that, it's telling me 310 out of the 368 swings get to 0.25 ATR. That means like this, right? So you see 17.13, that has definitely crossed 0.25 ATR, isn't it? This has as well, but this one hasn't, right? This has as well. So most of them have. So 90% of them have got to 0.25 ATR. So if you want, like, if you prefer scalping strategies, you don't have much patience, you want to put that into your portfolio as well, then you can choose 0.25 ATR. We got one strategy which we run in our live trading room performance as well, which is just on very high reliability, right? So if you put a 0.25 ATR target, it will hit it about 80-90% of the time. I showed it in the last Q1 performance over here. You can watch that as well when you get some time. Where we showed that. Now those of you who say, you know what, no, I want a bit more, not very long term, but a bit of the in between the high profitability and the midterm profitability. So you want to get midterm profitability. The 1 ATR one is a good one. So you get that 60% of the time. And then if you want to capture the ultra big runners, you can choose the 20% number. It's about 3.25 ATR, right? So that's the ones on all of this, and you can formulate different strategies. But rather than selecting all of them, you can put some filters, you see. If you just say, you know what, I want to only select the swings that are in alignment with the trend, this will improve the reliability. Rather than from 20% of them getting to 3.25, you'll get maybe 40, 50% of them. And that is it. That's a game changer already. So you'll eliminate things like this, right? But not taking them. Okay. So that's what the OE stats is about. It gives you a guideline on where to place your targets based on how much move is left in the swing. Okay. And you can correlate this to different time frames and everything. So a few things what I want to tell you. First, now you're choosing target based on probabilities. That's how trading should be, right? It's a very critical thing you need to take away. Think in terms of probabilities, not just one trade. So that is one thing. Now, the second thing is, this is only one part. Like the engine is one part of the car, okay? But it's a big part. So you can use this, right, in whatever strategies you want to construct, but it's only one part of the entire game, right? And the third thing is, what I want to say is targets are very important because when you realize your profit or loss is where you exit, is it not? Right? So that's why this thing is very important. So pay a lot of attention to this and formulate in whatever way that if you want to do it your way, do it. But use these principles. They're very, very powerful. If you want to cut short your journey, you can always get the SMI Elite and onto your charts as well. Okay, so you can do that as well. Don't know what I did over there, but if I just go back, does it go there? Just did this. Okay, so I think that will bring it back. Okay, yeah. So if you want to get the indicator onto your screens, you can always go onto this page. You can just always take a look at it at your own free time. Okay, good. So that's on the OE stats over there. Now let's get on to the exciting part where how we use the AI on this, right? How did we use the OE stats, right? Target on probabilities, right? That's what I'm saying here. Top, using AI. Now, what do we use the AI on? Because we already got it on TradingView, some of you might say, right? So what are we using it on? Now, let me ask you something, right? So wouldn't it be useful if I want to run this strategy, let's say I want to run a 180R target, right? Now on 20 instruments. But before I do that, or 50 instruments, that's the power of scale, isn't it? Once you got all this quantified with market structure. But first, I want to just understand how the 20 instruments OE tables are at, right? If I used on the trading view side of things, then I just got to flick on each instrument, analyze it, go backwards and forwards and all of that, isn't it? So one of our clients, Anton, right? So what he did was to look at all of this in one go because what we are actually doing at the moment, we are looking to program all of this for scaling up with institutional cash, right? Also with high net worth investors as well. Once we set up a different company with all the legislations and everything, right? So that's where we're looking to go to, or even with our own money just to begin with, right? As a prop firm. Now, so to do all of that, that's what we are looking to get towards, right? That's the final objective. So we first need the data to analyze and then feed that into the AI machine. So we are using AI in all parts of it. So now, let me give you a little bit of background before I show you this. Now, you see, on the AI side of things, so what happened is, so when we had all a group meeting, all our clients, we had a meeting with our mentor, right? And he said, to do what we want to do and to scale up as well, the best platform would be Python, okay? Because TradingView, no matter how great it is, I mean, in terms of simplicity analyzing data, but it's got its limitations, you see, right? So then he recommended to use it on to use Python, which is what I actually got written over here. You see, OE stands for 20 times instruments. That's a problem, isn't it? Because you can't see it, as I mentioned, we can't see it all in one place, right? So, but TradingView has got limitations. So he then said, use Python. And, but the problem we had is that we didn't have the SMI framework, you see? We didn't have any of this coded on Python software. We only had this code on TradingView. Now, here's where the beauty comes, right? Because then what we then did, we had another member on our team who's also a programmer, Vedanta Elite member as well, Brian, right? And he was using AI from day one, okay, for the last 2-3 years. And he said, you know what? Why don't we put this code into AI and tell it to convert it into Python language? And truth be told, you won't believe it. I mean, everybody was shocked, right? Like, it just the it first converted it within like 10 minutes, right? With coders back and forth in manual time, that would have taken about 2, 3, maybe 5 days. So basically within 10 minutes, you coded it. And here's the best part. 99% of it was all right. In fact, Anton, when he analyzed it, there was no no really errors, very tiny parts here and there. It was mind-blowing. So it really saved us a lot of time. So it doesn't stop there. So after we use AI to help us to code it into then the Python software, then we then moved on into the Python software where I'll show you the AI OE heat map. And this is just the beginning, right? So I'll show you this over here. So let me just give me just 1 minute, it's a few seconds. Let me just get this link out here. All right, just a 3-minute clip, and you can see it. And I'll pause it once we get to the part. Possibly I only need to show you only the smaller part of it as well. Right, so let me see. Am I sharing sound? Let me see. To share the sound, isn't it? Is there a place where I can say share sound? Audio. I think hopefully you can listen to it. I think I did click on share sound. Anyway, the team will be able to tell me if I can you guys can hear the sound. Now you can put it in the chat box as well. Let me just play it. Right, Anton, if you can explain that last part what you've done about the heat map, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I
of
think.
course. So basically, what it does, it requests data for multiple products, for many products. We have a list of products all in here, a bunch of stocks, futures, and the currencies. And then it applies the 20% strategy onto it. This is the weekly directional alignment strategy. And then as it does this, it generates the OE table with the percentage moves. And then instead of showing them as in a table form, because there's a bunch of tables for each product, it puts them all in a heat map. So it's easier to see kind of all in one place. So here we go. So the y-axis, of course, is each individual product. So every row is a different product, and the x-axis is the percentages of time that the product reaches a certain distance or goes a certain distance, and the distance is measured in percentages as well. So this way, it's comparable between products. So
So
yeah,
the difference between the heat map and the tables below. So if you go down to the tables
it's
below, you
exactly the
just remove all
same.
the headings. You remove
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
headings.
Pretty much.
And
I remove all the headings. Yes, that's right.
got you. So then you've done that. Yeah, this is awesome, man. This is
The only thing
this
that might be missing is I thought about it afterwards. Is
right, traders. I think that just gives you an overview, isn't it? Over there. So all is done over here. So it's incredible because I can see it straight, and you can see there's no limit, right? We can do it across anything: grains, commodities, indexes, stocks, name it, okay? Percentage probability at the bottom, and then the ATRs over here. So I can quickly see, 70% number, how is it doing across different instruments? Some you see for gas, you see 70%, even it's like 2.1 ATR. It's just mad, okay? And some of them that are not performing that really great, I can remove them from the portfolio and then restart again, or tell it, you know what, find me those ones where it got 70% hit of 2 ATR. That's the whole point, traders, okay? You can scale now. That's the whole idea of this game. And no more guesswork, right? It's very systematic. That's the whole idea of the systematic logical framework. And nobody explains it this way. Even when people say AI, but it's so random, it is so messy. There's no systematic way of approaching it. Whereas over here, because we were taught by the quant traders on how to approach this, so it starts with market structure first. From the market structure, then we pull out the three stats. From the three stats, then we make our strategy. But over here, which I showed you today, was just one of those three stats. But you got to have the market structure right in place. Okay, you saw how we just moved it, and that's what I'm telling you, right? If you want to really learn something that's really quite solid, strong, and logical, I would say that start with the masterclass webinar. That's the best place. I'll give you all the links once again. That's the best, I would say, you should start from. That's in April. It's coming out in about 2 weeks' time. Anyway, what you saw today is just the beginning, traders. It's really nothing is just a start, right? There's more to come. We're looking to program more. There's more research stuff we're going to do, and we're going to put that all onto a strategy. We're going to scale it all up, and you're going to see all the performance as well very shortly as well. I mean, you're already seeing it that we do every quarter as well. This is what gives us the conviction, okay? Even if you're lost, win, we just show it. February was a losing month. We show everything, right? But March was good. Overall, we're up 21%, all right? I mean, especially with institutional cash. I mean, even if you can do 20 to 30% every year, you'll be laughing, right? You'll be trading millions and billions of dollars. Good. I think with all of that said, let me just give you the summary of what we have covered in the topic for today. So first thing we then looked at is where to create the heat map on, okay? And that was based on the OE factor or how much move left. Then we then looked at how to measure it, okay? How to measure it is from point of entry to maximum point reached, okay? And then finally, then we also then looked at your distribution tables, right? And then the icing on the cake is how we put that all onto a AI heat map, right? Which all of you probably will be saying, wow, you know, that's fascinating how it's all doing. But hopefully you got the idea that it's just not about using AI independently, but, you know, taking it in a systematic, logical way forward, okay? That's the whole basis over here. Right, traders, I guess that's that on our topic for today. I'll just take a look at gold over here. What's happening over here? Yeah, it's still hovering around there. I think it might be done for today because, let me see if it took out the low or not. 4767. This one's 67.62. Yes, it just took it out a little bit, isn't it? See, this is another thing. It just reinforces what we are talking about today. If you just were looking to short it today, you'd have just been sucked in, and then now you'd have been caught out in this retracement that it's doing at the moment. Not sure if it's going to come back further down, but remember what I always say, always think in terms of probabilities on how much move is left, and then correlate with different time frames to get your direction bias and your timing, okay? This is why we got the live action as well, so as to make you see the theory putting into application, okay, not just theoretical. Okay, good. So we got that. I mean, one thing I will highly recommend, if you found this all very useful and you like the systematic approach, then go on to the masterclass webinar, register for it, and you got the 2 dates. I would say, why waste time? Time is the most important commodity. Sign up for the 22nd of April at 7 p.m. UK time, and it's high quality content. And we're not even charging anything for it. In the future, we might, but for now, we're not. So take advantage of it and watch that. Okay, good. So, and those of you who already watched all of our videos and everything, you can get the Smart Money Indicator onto your screens. And then our YouTube channel is youtube.com/masterthemarkets. And once you click on the subscribe button, you can then click on the all bell icon as well, okay? So once you click on that, you click on the drop down arrow, and then you can click on the all bell icon. The one of the videos I would say that you got to look at probably will be the SMI overview and also the stretch principle over here as well. This one is a really good one as well that you can start to watch as well, okay? Trade Nation, a quick shout out to them. They are the ones who are sponsoring all these live streams as well as our annual summit as well. If you want to open up an account with them, you can either email us a client service or open up through the details at the Telegram channel. So we'll monitor this as a last thing. We'll monitor this gold. I'll see if we want to still keep it as well. If time passes by, then we won't keep it. We will cancel the order. Okay, traders, I guess that's pretty much that from us on this live trading workshop. And as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Take care and bye for now.